Hello Malaysians, it's the 30th today and 9 p.m. Perth time. I mentioned the time and date is to locate where I'm speaking from to settle the issue of jurisdiction. I speak in Perth and I'm not subject to the jurisdiction of the penal code in Malaysia. Well, this evening I wish to speak to my brothers in Sabah and Sarawak. Well, Sabah and Sarawak are the two biggest states in the Federation of Malaysia. You have all the minerals, you have all the timber, and you have all the oil. And to top it all, you are supposed to be the richest state in the Federation of Malaysia. And yet, this is the funny part of it, and yet the component parties from Sarawak and Sabah are junior partners in the coalition of BARISAN Nasional. You see, my earlier clip I discussed the fact that in the Federation the component states are all independent of each other. They only come together and surrender part of their powers to the federal government, and they retain most of the powers belonging to the state, because the states are independent of each other, and they are also in fact independent of the Federation of Malaysia. Well, this you have to consider this my opinion carefully, because for all these 65 years it has been taken for granted that the federal government of Malaysia controls the state. The state, in their mind, and by omission, the people of Sabah and Sarawak and all the other states that make up the Federation have surrendered to the federal government. They have de facto surrendered to the government, because under the Constitution they have the powers, but they are not so well versed, not so sophisticated, and not so well educated as the Peninsular Malays. So the Peninsular Malays have usurped the majority of the powers of the component states and make the federal government all powerful, controlling all the states. Now this should not be the case. It should be the other way around. The states are independent. Why are they independent? It's so obvious. There are 9 sultans, and each sultan is head of his government in the state. Isn't that enough proof that every component state is independent of each other and independent of the federal government as well? It's only in areas where the states have surrendered their powers that the government, the federal government, collectively act as the unitary or the controlling government of the Federation of Malaysia. Well, I am bringing this especially to a notice of Sabah and Sarawak, because you have been deceived by the UMNO government. You have been deceived. You have been made to believe that you are inferior to the federal government. You have been made to feel that you are inferior to Peninsular Malays, but you are not. And the Peninsular Malays cannot claim to be better than you. They cannot claim to be more intelligent than you. They cannot claim to be more sophisticated than you, and they cannot claim to be more educated than you, because there are a lot of Sabahans who have gone to universities and they are just as sophisticated. But for one reason or other, I don't understand why the people of Sarawak and Sabah have submitted meekly to the control of the federal government. Now is the chance to roll back what has been usurped from you. Under the Pakatan government, you can negotiate afresh, because as I said in my first clip, Lim Kit Siang has made a public statement that a Pakatan government will roll back all the ridiculous criminal amendments to the federal constitution which were forced on the people of Malaysia through the machinations of Mahathir Mohamad, and with the timid and the cowardly consent and endorsement of MCA and MIC. MCA and MIC are just decorations. What at parties, in the old days when we used to have school parties, MCA is a wallflower. They just sit there, and they are not active. You see, they are wallflowers. They don't participate in what goes on. But now, people of Sabah and people of Sarawak, consider this, that Pakatan has made the statement that the Constitution of Malaysia will be restored to its original condition and the original purpose and intent, which means that a lot of the discriminatory provisions of the Constitution, which discriminated against the Chinese and the Sabahans and the Sarawakians, we are the minority, and they treated us as minority, and they treat you people in Sabah and Sarawak no better than they treat us Chinese. So I ask you people in Sabah and Sarawak, why are you so meek and cowardly? And why don't you open your eyes and realize that you are independent states who have surrendered 20% or 10% of your powers to the Federation government to achieve a common defense, common trade policy, that sort of thing, But the UMNO government has gone 10 steps further into your territory. They have taken all the revenue from your oil, all the revenue from your timber, taken all the timber out of your forests, felled them and sold them, and kept the money for themselves. Did this video that exposed Taib Mahmud not get into your head that this Taib Mahmud has been robbing you blind? He's taken every cent out of the product, the minerals, all the riches of your land, and kept it for himself and his family. Is it not ridiculous? Is it not ridiculous that even now, when it's so plain black and white, his sisters revealed this company to which he type has alienated land to be sold on the open market to the highest bidder, and in spite of that, Najib says he is not going to interfere, as if, you know, it is such a virtue not to interfere. He is the Prime Minister of Malaysia. Here it is, a Chief Minister of one of the biggest state in Malaysia, exposed and shown to be corrupt and to be stealing the wealth of Sarawak for himself and his family, and yet Najib says he will not interfere. Just let MACC to do the work. Now this is ridiculous. He is the Prime Minister. As I said, Najib is not a born leader. Najib was put up there because Mahathir wanted him, because Najib is weak. He is a weak leader, and Mahathir can get his way with him. You know, practically rape Najib, you know, Mahathir. And true enough, because all the shots, all the campaigning so far has been the work of Mahathir. Najib snipes in here and there some meaningless sloganeering and you know, pumping his fist in the air and say Merdeka and all that nonsense. It's all, you know, so amateurish. Well, anyway, I say to my friends and brothers in Sabah and Sarawak, think of yourself as independent states. Now, Lim Kee Siang has made public that Pakatan is ready to roll back the constitution, which means Sabah and Sarawak, you will be as independent as the constitution has allowed you to be, and whatever powers you have surrendered to the federal government, insist that to the letter that they follow the provision, and which means you in Sarawak and Sabah will get the lion's share of the oil revenue. Now, to add insult to injury, my dear friends in Sabah and Sarawak, have you ever participated in the profit sharing in Petronas? Did Petronas cede to you your share of the oil revenue proportionate to what your efforts and entitlements are? No, I don't think so, because when Mahathir's son lost $500 million on the stock market, he tapped into the largesse of Petronas. Is practically broke now. Petronas is practically broke, just as CPF, the Provident Fund, is practically broke through the stealing by Mahathir of the funds, the largesse of these two institutions. Think about it, my friend in Sabah and Sarawak. Think in terms of taking back Sabah from the federal government, because now the federal government has taken over your states. They have taken over your states. That's why not even one of your Sabahan or not even one of your Sarawakian holds a full cabinet minister position. You at best are deputy minister, which is nonsense. By right, you should hold the finance portfolio for Sabah, because you are the richest state. You should, because proportionate to your size and to your contribution to the coffers of the Federation of Malaysia, you should be given the next most senior cabinet post in the government. But right now you are nothing. You are only deputy minister. You are sidekick. You are the juniors, the junior partners, not even partners. You are the junior members of the Barisan Nasional. Think about it. Well, we'll talk again next time around. I will be discussing this most of the time because I see it is totally unjust what the UMNO government, what UMNO party has done to the people of Sabah and Sarawak. They have made fools of you. They have made you look like some aborigine with no education and no sophistication at all. Think about that. Well, I'll be back again with more discussion on this issue. Good night. Bye.